Hello, this is Brian Houle. I am a solutions consultant with Beyond 20, and today I want to speak very quickly about a cool trick that we can use to move or share OneSteps between members of the same group object. So in Cherwell service management, a group object comprises a group leader or parent object and group members or child objects. And they all draw from the same table and share fields, but they're for structures and business objects that are very similar but have slight differences. So for instance, specifics are group objects. Configuration items are group objects. They have a lot of overlap, but also have some differences. So one of the things you cannot do out of the box with Cherwell and group objects is easily share OneSteps between them, even if those OneSteps are working on shared fields. Cherwell still considers them different objects. So here, for example, I've got this config domain name configuration item type, and this is provided by our map on the map exchange. It provides a domain name and SSL certificate configuration item type. And these are useful for tracking those things as configuration items. So while I was working on this, I set up some sample data for the domain name. These are just OneSteps that sort of just manipulate the sample data to allow me to test it and demo it and show how it works. What I want to do is, what I'd like to be able to do is edit, copy, right? Go to SSL Certificate and paste, but as you see, it doesn't work. They're still Cherwell still treats them as separate objects. I can't even do this. I can't export and do sample data OneSteps. I'll save it as a CED export, and if I still go to SSL Certificate and do File Import, I get an error. It says we must change the association to config domain name. It still treats them as separate objects. So what I've got for you today is a simple little trick to allow me to move these OneSteps from one object to another in the same group. So I've got these OneSteps. I want to move them over to SSL Certificate to save me some time and effort, so I don't have to recreate them. So here's what we can do. What I'm going to do is find that export that I just did, and here it is. And I'm going to go ahead and edit this. All right, so what I'm looking for is the business object ID of my config domain name. So here I'm going into my blueprint. I've already applied this map to this system. I'm going to go to Edit Business Object. I'm going to go to BizOb Properties. I'm going to go to Advanced and click Business Object ID. So here is my config domain name, business object internal ID. And I want to remember that because I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to go into my editor, and here it is. So I'm using Notepad++, but this will work in any text editor. I like Notepad++ because if I highlight a piece of text, it'll highlight it where it appears everywhere else. So I can do a quick replace with, so this is our domain name configuration item ID. And this is our SSL Certificate Business Object ID. And I can get that the same way by just going out to my SSL Certificate object, Edit Business Object, BizOb Properties, Advanced Business Object ID. So that end is C2FB and C2FB. So now all I have to do is replace all, click Close, click Save, close out of Notepad, close out of that. Let's go back into our OneStep manager. I'm going to change oh wait, excuse me, I was actually in the client. I'm going to go from domain name now to SSL Certificate. I'm going to do File Import, and now when I select sample data onesteps.ced, that file I just edited, I click Open, boom, there they go. And so once we've imported the new OneSteps, we can have a look. So we can click Edit, and we have Update Business Object. Only show set fields, and there we'd have it. So this works because both of these group members share this field. So obviously, if the one step is setting a field that doesn't exist in the new group member or the destination group member, this won't work. So use at your own risk. But it is a great way to quickly move one steps from one group object to another.